Hello, is anyone there? There is a chat box on the right-hand side. Oh, hey, Patrick. You should actually be able to hear me. There isn't a call-in number. Hi, Todd. Hi, Don. I'm so glad you guys are here to join me. Patrick, are you able to hear me? Hi, Carrie in Vegas. Great to see you. Hi, Betsy. Todd, Gwendolyn, Ronald, Stephen. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Dion's there. Awesome. Mikkel, seeing a lot of people joining us. This is fantastic. Hi, Frederico. All right. We've got quite a. I hate Mark Keneally. Hey, so nice to see you. Goodness, we've got everyone here. This is wonderful. I'm so happy to see these names popping up. So many people I know and recognize and have talked to. This is fantastic. All right, so I don't think we really need to wait for more people. Hi, Jim. It's nice to see you. And so this webinar, hi, Stephanie. This webinar is all about the new redesign, the new LinkedIn interface. And what I want to do, hey, Melissa, so thank you so much for joining us. I want to really provide you guys with an overview. This is a totally different experience, this new design. And I want to make sure that everyone feels confident and comfortable with it. This is nothing to be scared of. I'm going to take you guys by the hand today and really lead you through the new interface. So with that said, I believe this is going to be a 45-minute presentation. And then the last 15 minutes, I'm going to do Q&A. But as I go through, you have that chat window. Ask me anything. I'm going to keep my eye on it. And when I see good questions, any questions, I'm going to try to answer them as best as I can. And so in terms of how we're going to break this down, we're going to do 45 minutes of just talking about LinkedIn, walking you through the new design, the new interface. I also have a really a fantastic message from Amy Parnell. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Amy, but she is the Senior Director of User Experience Design at LinkedIn. And I asked her a bunch of questions, and she has relayed the answers to me, things that you guys need to know about the new design. This is stuff that's on the down low. No one else knows. Only us who have a special entree to Amy Parnell. She's giving it to us. So these are things that no one else knows about. And then we're going to do the Q&A. So, but before we go any further, I do have a gift for all of you guys. And I'm going to put it up here. It is, let's see, there we go. It's the visual guide to LinkedIn's redesign. So I don't know how many of you are going to be able to stay with me for the entire 45 minutes. And so if you're not able to, I've prepared this visual guide. Just hit that download now button to download it. It's a PDF. I'm not going to use these. These are not my slides that I'm going to show you. We're actually going to do a screen share right now. But if you have to jump off, or even afterwards, if you still have questions, this guide is going to help you. So hit that download now button and download the guide. You should be able to see it. And if you can't, let me know. Did anyone download it? Can I see in the chat that anyone's downloaded it? Betsy has it. Great. Okay. I'm glad that you guys have it. I wasn't sure. Done. Todd. Yes. Great. Michelle. Great. Okay. Fantastic, guys. Take this guide. Use it. It's fantastic. Believe me, I worked really, really hard on this for you. And so with that said, we're going to jump in. Let's just jump in. All right. And so bear with me as I bring up the new interface. All right, so guys, can you see this? And does this look good to you, or is it reversed? I've noticed that sometimes when I do this, the slides are reversed. Can you see? Can you see Ashley's homepage on LinkedIn? It's a little fuzzy. All right, it's okay. It looks good. All right, great. So, guys, this is this is the new interface. This is what it looks like. If yours still looks like this is the old one. This is what I still have. LinkedIn has not upgraded me. I still have the old version. If yours still looks like this, you have the old interface. But the new one is this one. And according to Amy Parnell, about 50% of the users, the LinkedIn users, have been upgraded to this new interface. The remaining ones will be upgraded very shortly. She couldn't tell me when. She said shortly. I've heard from other sources that Q1, at the end of Q1, everyone will have it, but we can only see. But what I want you guys to notice immediately when you look at this new interface is that it looks very similar to the mobile app. And the reason is LinkedIn has issued this to really create a more unified look across all of the devices. Because think of it this way, not everyone is accessing LinkedIn specifically through their phones or through the desktop. Everyone looks at it in different ways. Federico just asked, I can't understand why people in San Francisco still have the old one and my partner in Italy has the new one. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe that I don't have the new one, and I've asked nicely. Look, it's random. There's no rhyme or reason why a person gets it. When I look at our team of writers, some have it, some don't. We don't know. In terms of Patrick, you said if you have Navigator, do you get this version immediately? No, I have Sales Navigator myself, and I don't have it. So it's random. We don't really know who is getting it, why they're getting it. It's just rolling out in a very random type of way. But like I said, it's offering a more unified look across all the devices. And ultimately, the idea is that this new platform is going to provide a more rapid rate of development, and they are going to be issuing much more improvement and more innovation into the future. So that's the idea. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you, I really want to jump right straight into the profile, but I do want to bring up a few things right now and right off the bat, and that is, if you look at this menu bar, totally different. It's really been streamlined. It's been simplified, and a lot of the pages here have been condensed. So at one time, if we looked at just simply, and I wonder if I can have you see both of them at the same time. I think I can. If you look here, what used to be My Network, it was 4 totally separate pages made up My Network. My Network now is 1 page. All right. In fact, the notifications at one time was just this little drop list here. But now, if we look at it, it's its own page. So they've really tried to streamline, they tried to minimize, they've tried to simplify. That was their real goal with this new design. Now the profile is very, very different. Daniel is asking, is there any chance that you can expand? I'm guessing expand my page. Is it a little too hard for you guys to see? Or Daniel, type more. I don't know if you mean if I can expand what I'm saying or expand the screen. So just tell me what you're talking about. But Federico, is it pretty much similar to the app? It's very similar to the app. It's not identical. It's not identical, but it is very similar. It's really trying to take what was good with the app and move it over here. It's hard to see. All right, you know what, guys, let me try this. Let me see if I can do something to make this easier for you guys to see. Is that a little clearer for you? If not, I'm afraid I can't do much more. But I just changed the way I'm screen sharing, so hopefully it's a little easier. But with that said, let's jump immediately here into the profile screen. And Oh, good. Okay. All right. We're we're cooking with oil now, guys. So we're going to come over here to me to view profile. And notice how what used to be just the profile is now more than just the profile. But it's the profile, it's your settings, it's the help center, it's your language, it's managing your company pages, and it's the sign out. So this really shows you how they really they've condensed this information together in a different type of way. But here we are in the new LinkedIn profile. And when we look at this new profile, it's different, yet it's still very, very much the same and very similar at the exact same time that it's different, which I know sounds crazy, but it's true. One of the first things I think you're going to notice is that the background photo is much more narrower than before. And when I say narrower, I mean almost skinnier, not as tall. And so if you have a background photo already updated, you'll see that it probably looks fine. You might not have to do anything to it, but there are new dimensions. Those new dimensions are going to be found in that PDF that I asked everyone to download. The other thing you're going to notice is this picture, the profile picture, is so much smaller than before. And what I want you guys to do is in terms of what do you guys need to do? All of you guys are my clients. You've used our services in the past. So you know that you have a really good, strong foundation even still. And everything that we've done, nothing is going to change. But there's a few tweaks that you can do to really optimize this new design. And one of the things I want you to do is make sure that your image fits that circle, because a lot of times it doesn't. And I'm seeing a lot of people who are just slightly askew. So really go in there and make sure that your image is centered, but also I want you to zoom in, and you can zoom in by just clicking, just dragging this. And I want you to really make sure that your face fills as much of that circle as possible. All right. And the reason is because it's so small. I really want to make sure that people can see you. They can see your eyes. They can see your smile. So really, guys, no shoulders, no elbows, no full torsos here. We really want to zoom in as much as we can. The other thing you're going to see is the headline. That's still there, and it's still important. It's just as important as it used to be. We want to keep it strong with visual symbols. We want to have those keywords, and if we can get in a benefit statement, that's fantastic. Now, from here, I'm just going to hit save, and I want to show you a few things, and that is right here. This is your summary, and LinkedIn has condensed it. And so in order to read your full summary, you have to hit see more. Now, I don't believe this is going to last. I think they swung the pendulum a little too far in terms of minimizing the default data. I believe, and I say this because of something that I'm going to show you that Amy Parnell wrote to me, but they are expecting to expand items. And I do believe that they're going to expand this again. And so one of the things that I've been, we want to do is just make sure that very intro right now is as strong as can be. That's going to be very important. Wade says, on the headline section, can we manage the line so line 2 begins with a bullet? Wade, I don't think you can. And the reason why I say that is, remember, every device that LinkedIn is available on is a different size. And so everything kind of expands and contracts to fit to snap. And because of that, there's really, I don't believe we can do a hard return on that headline. So it is what it is. Unfortunately, we can't. Federico says, nice having the summary there. Guess is going to be on Google research. You know what? I do think that one of the reasons why they did this is they wanted to see how many people are really checking it out. And I think they're finding a lot of people read the summary. And so I think it's going to be expanded. What I do want to show you is this. Guys, look at how huge this is. 86 people who've viewed your profile. They are really putting be careful using bullets. They could end up dangling in white space. Yeah, that's true too. So you have to really be careful with where you're putting your bullets, those all of those good things. But notice the 86 people have her profile. What this is telling me is the profile is going nowhere. This is still the key to LinkedIn. And because they are showing you in such a front and center spot who's viewed your profile, it's really important to recognize people are checking you out, and it's always important to have that optimized presence. I'm going to keep scrolling down, and notice as well, this is something different as before. Federico asked, are they providing analytics linked to the See More button? Not at this point, Federico, no. What is the best way to increase your SSI index? Asked Patrick. Actually, Patrick, great question at the really good time. And one of the big players in that SSI index is your posts, your blogs, your activity, and your interaction. And so if you want to have a high SSI score, that's social selling index score, the way to do that is through your activity on LinkedIn. So yes, it's having a strong LinkedIn profile, but two, it's really using it in that social way. So you want to be updating, you want to be posting status updates, but you also want to be interacting and liking and commenting on others. So that's important. But again, let's go back here to your posts and activity. Notice that it's no longer just your posts that are being captured and highlighted, but it's all of your activity. So that's really, really important. We're going to scroll down. The experience hasn't changed. It still looks very much like it did. It's still 2,000 characters. That job title, we still want to make sure that we're infusing it with those keywords. So not much has changed in terms of that experience. But what has changed, and again, I do believe that this is going to change, but in order to see everything, you have to click to maximize, click to maximize. Carrie said, regarding the social selling index, I've changed the direction of my business and my posts are no longer relevant. Should I delete them? That's a really great question, Carrie. You know, if it's so totally off, you might consider deleting them. But instead, what I really would think of doing is adding more posts that are relevant to what you're doing. So always look forward. Don't always look so much behind you, but look forward and just start to bring the more relevant posts up top. For small companies, is there a way to get a logo imported? Wade, the only way to do that is through creating a company page. So as you can see, this one does not have a logo, but this one does. And the reason this one does is this is my company page and I've uploaded a logo. And so any of the people who consider themselves employees or contractors and they choose to list, that logo is going to come there. So for a small company, just create yourself a company page and upload that logo. If you're not comfortable doing it, we do write LinkedIn we write company pages as well. So just contact me afterwards. I'm going to keep scrolling down, and this is something that is only temporary, and that is at this point. After experiences comes education. After education comes volunteering experiences. And you cannot, Glenn says, unfortunately, don't think you can edit a company name once the logo is placed. I'm not actually sure about that, Glenn. I believe you can still change the name of a company. The only thing is with the company, you can only make a slight edit. You can't totally change a company's name. So that might really be the issue that you're having. Stephanie, email me afterwards. I'll send you the direct link. You know how to get a hold of me. It's on my contact page on linkedin-makeover.com, but I'll get you that link. Anyone who can't seem to get it, just let me know and I'll send it over to you. Now, so what I was saying is we cannot change the sections. We can no longer rearrange the sections of the profile. But as I'm going to show to you in a few minutes, Amy Parnell says that is actually on the books. They are going to allow that to occur again. So right now you can't rearrange, but you will be able to very soon. Now, I want to show you one of my favorite parts of this new profile, and that's the featured skills and endorsements area. And before, if you remember, the skills and the endorsements were a free-for-all. You would have a slew of people's faces showing. You didn't know what to make of it. It didn't really seem to offer real credibility or credence. And a lot of people just ignored the skills. In fact, a lot of people hated them, to be perfectly frank with you. I never hated the skills and endorsements section. I really feel that it's a great way to optimize for LinkedIn search. And I did feel that it did provide credibility when you saw that there were a lot of people endorsing you. But with that said, LinkedIn has made a huge, huge upgrade to the skills and endorsements. And what they're doing is they're now offering a more dynamic profile than ever before. And the way for me to show that to you is to show you an outsider's profile, which is mine. Because remember, like I said, I still don't have the new interface. So this is me as Ashley looking at this profile. And as I scroll down, the LinkedIn is thinking ahead. They're saying, okay, well, here's Donna and here's Ashley. What do they have in common? Who do they know in common? What skill sets do they have? And so if I scroll down here to my skills, they're going to show the top 3 skills, my first 3 skills that I've listed. And then they're going to show Ashley, these are the people that you know who have endorsed her. And that lends more credibility and credence. In fact, if you look at your mobile app, the mobile app is a little bit more advanced than the new design, but the new design is heading towards where the mobile app is. And the mobile app will even go so far as to say, Darren Williams is also knowledgeable as a professional speaker, and he has endorsed Donna for professional speaking. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to highlight specific people who offered those endorsements. And so this is now taking on much more credibility than ever before. But with that said, what I want all of you to do is I want you to open up your profile. And once you're in your profile, go down to the skills and endorsements section. And I want you to click this edit icon. Once you click that edit icon, you're going to see this window open up. And I want you to make sure that the top 3 that you have listed are the top 3 you want to be known by, the top 3 that your target audience cares about the most. And if they're not, I want you to get them there. And the way to do that is you click here and you just drag and drop where they belong. So the top 3, the first 3 are the ones that are going to be there showcasing you. And so make sure those top 3 are the ones you truly want to highlight. And then once you've done that, you hit save. The other thing is once we get beyond the skills and endorsements, we have the recommendations. Now, at this point, the recommendations are no longer tied to specific experiences like they used to be. So Carrie said, so they're going to disregard the numbers? No, they're not necessarily disregarding the numbers as much as they're just putting more emphasis on the people who have endorsed you for those skills. And they're going to really make sure that they're highlighting to the viewer who is well-versed in that skill, or who does that person know who has endorsed you for that skill. So they're not necessarily disregarding the numbers as much as they're no longer putting them as number 1. That's probably now more like number 3 in terms of what they feel is important. But we have the recommendations, still very important, still a very strong area within your profile. They're just no longer right now. And I can't imagine that this is going to last for very long, because it really is important to be able to see, to what position were you recommended. So I believe that's going to be fixed. If we scroll down a little bit more, here's our accomplishments. Now, these were all standalone sections. Wade says, can we also reorder those? We can't reorder. I don't know if we can reorder the recommendations. That's a great question. Let me hit here and we'll see. Let's look and see. Yes, Wade, you can. And how can you? So you want to get yourself into that edit mode. All I did was click that icon, that little pencil icon. And notice right here, boom, we can reorder this way. So Mark should come first. Well, Mark Jackson will now come over Mark Saxonmeyer. So and if we wanted to, let's do this because I saw Dion and Wendy. I'll just reverse these. All right. And once we have that, let me see if there's a save button down here. Nope, save. So we'll just hit the back button. And I'm just going to hit refresh. And I'm going to scroll down. And so what have we learned, Wade? What we have learned is, yeah, we can reorder, but they're going to still stay in the order that LinkedIn wants. So I think this is something that's going to fix. Gwendolyn asks, I don't have any recommendations. Is that a negative? And Federico is saying, yes, it is. I think I kind of agree with Federico. Gwendolyn, recommendations are so powerful. I think they're much more powerful than the skills will ever be. And so do go out and start getting recommendations. It's really going to differentiate you. It's going to allow other people to brag about you. And people do look. They do look and they want to read. And the real power of the LinkedIn profile isn't just what the person is saying, it's who they are. Because in this situation, we can see, oh, Dion Carrick has recommended Ashley, but who is Dion Carrick? And we can click on that link and we can see who she is. Oh my goodness, she's the general manager, at Vision Board Media. So that's important. It's because you can drill in and see. Are they organized by the dates that were given? That could be, Dion. That could be exactly what it is. I think you just nailed it. So I thought it was appearing in a random order, but Dion has just said that she thinks it's done counter chronological, and that appears to be the way it's viewing. So the answer is right now it's counter chronological. It does look like they still allow you to rearrange on the back end, but that is. I actually lost some of my old recommendations. Mikkel, go into the manage screen and you can bring them back up. They're not there anymore. You might want to contact LinkedIn if that's the truth. But a lot of times they get hidden and you just have to put a check mark back in there. You can ask for recommendations that they worked with you. They will do it to make sure, recommend them before you pressure them. Oh, that's a good idea. Glenn writes, nice that rich media assets are all the same thumbnail size on a horizontal carousel slider. Yeah, Glenn, I think that's great. And Dion is saying, it's important to keep your recommendations current. And that is so very, very true. Let's go back into these accomplishments. Notice we cannot rearrange them. We can't put any of them above our experiences. They've really structured the profile. But like I said, I will show you the emails that I received from Amy Parnell, and she's letting us know that this is going to change. With that said, I want to show you my most favorite aspect of this the new profile within the new interface. And my very favorite, and I think this is fantastic, I really do, that's this highlights section. Now notice I have to go to my screen to look at it because when you're within your own profile, it's not there. Highlights only pops up when you're viewing other people or when you're looking at other people's profiles. And what this does is LinkedIn looks to see what do you need to know? And they are doing their own business intelligence for you. And so they're saying, hey, Donna, hey, Ashley, you and Donna have 28 mutual connections. You have 7 mutual groups. You both work at Vision Board Media. If we went to the same school, it would say you have the same school. I believe that they're going to keep drilling in with even more information. I believe we're going to see the same courses, the same skills, things like that. And so when you're going to a meeting and you're checking these people out, look at this highlights section. It will do what we used to teach you guys to do. In that we used to say, go and look at the connections, look at the groups, look where, look to see who you have in common. Well, LinkedIn is actually doing this for you. And this is fantastic. There's still a need for you to scroll down and learn more about that person. But right now, LinkedIn does a really great job of educating right up front. What do you have in common? And when you click on 28 mutual connections, we can see all of their shared connections, or we can see all of the connections if we're a first degree connection and they haven't turned off their connections list. So this is really fantastic to be able to see all the people that we have in common. So with that said, I would like to now move into other areas of the new design. Does anyone have any questions for me on the profile before I move on to any next sections? And as I let you chat, ask me any questions, I will say this. This is something that I didn't mention before, but notice over here, the contact information is now on the far right. I can't tell you, it took me forever to notice it, even though it seems so obvious. It's not that obvious. So be aware that the contact information and the connections are up here. Zach writes, if you're in between roles, does unchecking the current role checkbox on your most recent employer somehow count against you in terms of visibility? In other words, do you need to identify some kind of filler activity while you're in the job search? Zach, that is a fantastic question. And I have to tell you, there is no right or wrong answer to this one. In fact, a lot of times recruiters are searching for current. And when they're searching for current, and if you don't have a current role, you're going to be filtered out, unfortunately. But with that said, if you put down a current role, but it's not truthful, that could count against you. So it's one of those things where you have to weigh it. You have to balance it out in your mind. Yes, a lot of times recruiters are searching for current job title or current company. And if you don't have that current position, that current experience, so you have to balance it out. Dion says, can you save the profile as a PDF? And if I hover over here, these three dots, you can see I can share the profile. I could save it. I could remove the connection. I could report or block that person. I could unfollow them. But also I can request a recommendation and I can recommend Donna. I love these two new things because it was so hard to give recommendations in the past. But the answer to the question is yes, you can save to PDF. That had gone away, but it's back. Stephen asks, so when the changeover happens, will my existing profile automatically populate into the new format? The answer is yes, Stephen, it will. And in fact, this is what's going to be really weird. And that is when you are if those people like myself, I still have the old interface. And when I look at Ashley's profile, it still looks like the old one to me. So even though she's been upgraded, I haven't. Everyone looks like they're still on the old. So it's very strange. It's sort of this like weird limbo land. But yes, when you are upgraded to the new version, everything that you currently have will just move into the new format. Nothing is going to change really. There are two sections that have that are temporarily unavailable. The interest section is gone, and the advice for contacting, that is gone. But otherwise, everything else is a one-to-one, the same. It's just the one-to-one field. So they just take one and they put it into the other. And as you can see, it really, the look and the feel is yes, it's a little different. There's a lot more white space. The text, the text is a little smaller to my older eyes. But the real look and feel is going to be the same. So with that said, unless anyone has any other questions, I do want to talk to you about expanding your network. And so let's come back here to home. And what I want to show you is we still want to expand the network. We still want to keep building our network, growing it into as strong of a network as possible. When I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to click on this guy, JT Smith. Yes, he's a second degree connection. And I want to connect with him. I would come here and hit the connect button. And when I do it, notice what LinkedIn states. It says you can customize this invite. LinkedIn members are more likely to accept invitations that include a personal note. I can either hit add a note or I can hit send now. If I click add a note, this is where I type it in and I hit send. Notice you no longer have to state this person is a friend of mine. This person is a colleague of mine. This person and I work together. It's not asking us. It's not going that granular like it used to. But they are highly suggesting that you include that personal message. And this is something that we've always stated that's important to do. So that has not changed. Now, one of the things that had eluded me there for quite some time when I first started to play with Ashley's new interface was the groups. Because if you recall, the groups used to sit right up here. It was right underneath interests. Boom, you're in groups. Where did groups go? Well, it's over here under more. If we click under more, we can see that we can advertise. We can go into their learning. This is that new LinkedIn has acquired the lynda.com, which is career development and learning resources. So you have access to that. You can post a job if you wanted to. There's groups. There's ProFinder. There's salary. This is where you can see how you measure up in terms of payment. Lookup is if your company also allows the lookup app where they take all of the employees, so you can look up their like their address book entry. Here's SlideShare, but let's click here on groups. And when we click on groups, you'll notice this looks no different than it used to. It's still the same look once they had upgraded it back. I think it was the summertime. And so you can click here to see the groups that you belong to. And you can see which ones have new messages and you can click on them. But you can also click here to discover and see what groups LinkedIn is suggesting for you. And you can ask to join. But let's say you want to actually do a little bit more. Maybe what you really want to do is search for groups. If you want to search for new groups, the way to do that is through the search bar. And so let's come back up here to home and notice here is our search bar. And there's no longer the advanced search link, which led a lot of people to start announcing LinkedIn removed advanced search, but they didn't. Advanced search is still here, but let me show you how to get to it. There's two ways. If you click on the magnifying glass or you come over here and say search for people with filters, both those ways will get you to the search screen, the advanced search screen. And when you're here, this is where you search for your keyword. You put in your keyword. So let's just say executives. All right. And then we could hit groups. And so what will happen is it'll search. Let's hit, I'm going to hit first search and then hit groups. And now it's going to show me groups that meet that search criteria. And these are all the groups that match. All right. And you could say, hey, I only want to search for posts that have to do with executives. And now we're seeing posts that match that criteria. We can do the same thing for companies or schools or people. And if we try top, this is just going to give us everything kind of all together. Now, when we're here, now the advanced search looks so much different than it was. And it is different, but it's still very similar. It's just a different way of looking at search. So you can still filter by first, second, or third degree connections. You can no longer search by zip code, but you can still search by location. You can search by current companies. You can search by or filter by past companies. We have industries, profile language, all of that is still there. Nothing has changed. However, if you recall, you used to be able to search by job title. So what if you want to search by job title or you want to search for last name or search for first name? Well, if you see it says here structuring your search, that's actually a link. And if you click on it, you can actually use these search operators. So I'm just going to go with this first one. Oh, actually, let's go with this last one. Let's say school. So if we want to search just by school, the way we do that is we come over here and we just say, wrote like Rosemont. That was my school. Enter. And it's going to show me all the people who went to Rosemont. All right. So this I think is amazing. It shows that the advanced search is still there. It's just a different way of looking at it. No one has chatted with me for a while. Are you guys still there? Can I get someone to just type in a yes, we're here? Okay, we're still here. Good. That makes me happy. Are you guys still there? Please tell me you're still here. Are you guys there? Can you hear me? But cannot see me. I think you're going to see me in a second. All right. Mark says we're good. Dion says we're good. I'm so sorry. I don't know how that happened, guys. I really don't. I think I got so scared when I wasn't seeing the chat that maybe I clicked something. I don't know. We're going to get right back to searching. So give me a second to share my screen one more time. All right. Can you guys see my screen? And we're back on the search functionality. Does anyone have any final questions for me regarding search? I think I saw someone said that they did have some questions regarding search. Ultimately, let me get a little bit further on with search, because this is something I do want to talk to you guys about. And that is, we do want to start using copy, think in terms of the Boolean logic. So you could write iPhone and Android, and that's going to show you everyone who has both of those terms in their profile. Or you can say or. It'll be either or. All right? So think in those terms. You can also put things into parentheses. If you wanted to do something like project management, encase that in quotes. Otherwise, you're going to get everyone who says project and management, but not necessarily together. So really think in terms of the Boolean logic. And if you're interested, just let me know. I have a page on linkedin-makeover.com that's all about how to use Boolean search operators. And it really does make searching so much easier and better than before. With that said, I did want to talk to you a little bit about notifications. Oh, wait. Miguel has a question. Is this a LinkedIn Premium or the plain version? I believe that Ashley has the job search premium account. So it's the lower of all of them. I believe that a lot of what you're saying, though, is right across the board. It wouldn't be much different between the freemium or the premium. With that said, I do want to talk to you guys about this notifications window. Before, it used to be a little a drop down, but now they've given us a full page of notifications. But these notifications are very different than in the past. And what I mean by that is, notice now it says, say congrats, say happy birthday. You can see when people respond to a status update that you've posted. You can see if a person liked your article or someone was mentioned in the news. I think this is great. The one thing that's missing, something that I really miss actually, is that you're no longer being alerted when a person writes a new article on LinkedIn. And I don't know why that is. I don't know if that's going to be changed. It's something I do need to reach out to Amy Parnell and ask specifically. But that is something that is missing. And I don't know why. But it does mean that, if you want to, if there's someone who's posting and writing things, in order for you to know that they're posting new stuff, you've got to visit their profile, unfortunately, or pay even greater notice of your home feed. because that's where it's going to pop up as opposed to through that notification section. In terms of writing articles or posting updates, nothing has really changed. It's simplified though, much simplified. Right here is where you would write your little, not an article, but this is where you would write a little status update, and you'd hit post. If you wanted to include a picture, you could do so by doing that. I'm going to click back to home, and notice right here it says write an article, and you click there, and now you're in the blogging aspect of LinkedIn, and you can still upload an image here. In terms of those hero images for the blog posts, one of my biggest tips right now is to use canva.com. I'm using it myself in order to create montages and in order to, put, to lay text on top of an image. It works so well. It's free. And it really does create a really, really professional looking image. So canva.com, for anyone who's interested in that. But you just put in your headline and start writing. And then at the very top here, you hit publish. Very easy to do. It's a great way to really showcase your thought leadership. With that said, where I'd like to go now is I would like to show you guys. Actually, maybe I'll keep it. So here is what I promised earlier. Amy Parnell, she's the Senior Director of User Experience Design at LinkedIn. And I asked her a bunch of questions. I had said, in terms of the rollout, how much longer is the wait for those still using the old design? She was able to tell us that half of the people, half of the members are in the new experience. She cannot commit to when they'll be at 100%, but it will be fairly soon. And I had people tell me at LinkedIn that it will be before the end of Q1. In terms of profile strength, profile ranking, profile view statistics, are these things gone for good? Well, she said that they've retired the ranking feature. So when you would go in to see who's viewed your profile, and then you could see how you ranked within your network at LinkedIn, and then along with professionals like you, they've taken that away. That is retired. That's gone. But they are considering other ways of showing how you impact the impact of your professional brand with your network. But they've taken away that ranking, which saddens me. I thought that was great. The who's viewed your profile, the graphs are gone, but they feel that they're giving some really good information there without the graph and all of that information. But they do say, she did say that the profile strength will be back. They're enhancing it right now. So it's gone for the moment, but it will be back soon. I asked what was the reason for collapsing the profile summary and removing the ability to reorganize profile sections. And she said that reordering is coming soon. And they're also considering revealing more information at that default level without that click. And then I love this. I love this line here. She says, we may have swung the pendulum too far in terms of minimizing and simplifying the initial information that is shown. So that really does tell me that I think they recognize they minimize too much. People get a lot of information from that profile, and they do need to keep it expanded. I keep seeing more functionality reappearing. What else is in the pipeline? And she wouldn't tell me exactly what was in the pipeline, but she did say that she feels that they've launched a new platform that will allow for a more rapid rate of development, and that moving forward, there's going to be ongoing improvement and innovation happening from here on out. And that to me is really strong. I know that there's been a lot of almost just a negative feeling regarding this interface, but I've been playing with it and I feel it's strong. I feel it's a really, really good interface. I feel it's a good design, and I feel that more is coming. The best has yet to even arrive. There's a lot more on the horizon. A lot of great things are happening. And I feel very, very, very confident. And if anything from this webinar, I hope all of you feel just as confident as I do that this is a fantastic new platform that LinkedIn has launched for us. With that said, I'm at the end of my presentation. I do have one final offer, though, for you, and that is just to let you guys know that we've updated your profiles in the past, and we're always here to update them in the future. And so if it's time to update your profile, know that we're here, and we'd love to do it. We have returning client services available. With that said, any other questions? So Wade says, still wondering about the introduction capability. That is a fantastic question, Wade. I need to look into that, Wade. I do not have an answer for you. I will write a blog post about it. Mark writes, what is the biggest changes you have seen with people using LinkedIn over the last 3 to 4 years? Are they using it? The difference in LinkedIn, as I've seen it over the last 3 to 4 years, it is becoming more of a social networking platform than ever before. At one time, it really was. It was a search engine to find professionals. But now it's a place to really showcase your own thought leadership, to broadcast your message. And that, I think, is the biggest change. I'll tell you the other change, Mark, and that is at one time, in terms of us, as a company, as you know, we write LinkedIn profiles for professionals. And at one time, it was just these individuals coming to us. We see a lot of companies coming to us to redo their LinkedIn profiles for their executive team, for their sales team. And so what's one of the biggest changes? It's no longer seen as just a job search tool. It's seen as a reputation management tool. It's seen as a branding tool for the individual and the company. So these are just some of the things, but great question. Jay asked, what are the differences in LinkedIn subscriptions and what do you recommend? Jay, fantastic question. And let me tell you this. What I recommend is if you are using LinkedIn for prospecting, if you are using LinkedIn for recruiting, if you are using LinkedIn to really do searches, not for individual people, but for groups to then go through those search results, you're going to have to upgrade. It's just the way it is. They have a Recruiter Lite. They have Sales Navigator. These are tools that will allow you to really dig in and create leads and create lists. It allows for unlimited search. The free version is no longer unlimited search. You will get capped, especially if you start to go against what they consider the commercial limit. If you want to connect with people outside of your network, that's another reason why you'd want to consider upgrading. And I can't tell you which one. They're all great. It just depends on what your needs are. I myself use Sales Navigator. I think it's fantastic. I really, really like it. In fact, it really has enhanced search capability. And that's what I like about it. But with that said, Jay, if you are a normal everyday user, you go in, you like to connect with people, you like to read your newsfeed, you like to message people who are within your network, you do your own due diligence in terms of searching for people who might be in upcoming meetings or people that you have a phone call with, you might find that the free version it's still fine. It still works. But you will know, I will tell you this, LinkedIn is doing a very good job of letting people know when it's time to upgrade. And I think you will know yourself. You'll feel that it's time. Any other questions for me? We've got 5 minutes until the hour. And any final questions, I'm here. I will answer any question that you have for me. Just let me know. And in fact, what I'll do is I'll turn off. Thank you guys so much for being here. I plan on doing more of these webinars, not just on the new design, but just on regular usage of LinkedIn. And as my clients, I will always make sure that you're invited and that you have access to us. We appreciate you allowing us to help you with your profile. So with that said, unless anyone else has any questions, I'm going to be ending this webinar. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Bessie. Thank you, Wade. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you, Elaine and Susan and Stephanie. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.